But there was some good news this week that we should touch upon just before we get into the afterburn. And you can find all this over at dc420la.com, a Cannabis Chronicle. I found these and put them in there. So these are all some stories over there you can find. All the different stories about this Murder Mountain are over there. You can see the different views on it. But this was a really kind of a story that was lost. And there's a video attached to it. So I'm going to play it since we are sort of in the afterburn anyway. But this is a story out of Australia, Chela.
Yes.
Speaking of medical.
RBU 841.
Yes, RBU.
RBU.
We just call them RBU.
My friend.
RBU. Where are you?
There's some great stuff happening in Australia. Apparently, that's where all the good research can happen.
It's a good place for
It's
apparently.
pretty great.
Well, let's watch this
Check this
video.
out.
It's very encouraging news, guys.
Yeah, this is really amazing.
Brain cancer patient Billy Jack.
Go ahead.
And it folds into that Ethan Russo article that I love so much that I will post in the chat and then also in the description of the show of the Frontiers in Integrative Neuroscience article that talks about the future of cannabis therapeutics in neurology. So it's really great. He talks about lots of important brain stuff, epilepsy, cancer, Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's, my favorite.
This is the Russo story.
Yeah, the Russo
article.
story.
Yeah,
and this folds in nicely with it. So
yeah, and this is someone. I'm not sure. I forget who picked up on this week, but this was it just came through my feed. But this was a story from December. But it's very encouraging. This is from 9 News Sydney. So RBU, this is for you and us and everyone. Check it out.
Brain cancer patient Billy Jack Adams is happily taking an alternative treatment approach, a daily dose of medicinal cannabis.
Pretty special, really. Like, out of everyone who applied, I got selected.
The 20-year-old has GBM, an aggressive brain tumour that has impacted his speech, hearing and health overall.
It is the most aggressive of all cancers known to mankind and has a terrible prognosis.
He's among 82 Australians chosen for a new study into the potential benefits of the plant-based tonic on brain cancer.
Anything to help with nausea and vomiting, and especially to increase his appetite.
Led by top neurosurgeon Charlie Teo and nutritional supplement company Bioceuticals, the research team has been inundated with interest globally.
And we had over 600 phone calls within the first few days of the announcement.
So the product that we're using in the trial is an organic whole plant extract, which is taken orally as an oil.
The hope is to improve quality of life and possibly slow tumour growth.
But we're also hoping to see improvements in sleep, a reduction in pain.
Billy Jack had 96% of a large tumour removed 6 months ago and has been taking the cannabis treatment for a few weeks now.
I'm pretty good. I feel pretty good, yeah.
The oral cannabis isn't a replacement for conventional cancer medicine. Participants will continue their usual course of treatment throughout the 12-week trial. His parents support his positive outlook and bought him a plucky little puppy, Reuben, to help him through.
He's just always happy, so.
Very lucky to have such a son.
Emily Rice, 9 News.
Hey, he's got a plucky little puppy. Well, he gets cured. So there you go. Glioblastoma, that was a McCain one.
In an era of booming Chinese tourism, some surfing...
That was the McCain one and the one that inspired the assisted suicide law in California.
Which became law January 1st.
No, in Hawaii it became law.
Oh, in Hawaii,
January 1st.
That's what it was. Hawaii.
It's been a law
We've
in
had
California.
it here for a while.
Yeah, for a year anyway. Because of a lady with glioblastoma.
That's right.
Who moved to Washington?
RBU.
Yeah.
You're quite right, Chela. Great research occurring here. Thanks for showing this. You are so welcome, RBU. We are glad. We love to find stories of all that research that people are craving.
Yeah.
Around the world.
Yeah.
Or no, in the United States. It's happening around the world.
Yeah.
But doesn't seem to be able to happen here. But that might be changing, guys, because also in the news this week, I'm encouraged. I mean, right out of the gate, we had medical marijuana thrown into the spending bill, which may or may not get signed anytime soon. But your Rohrabacher Farr, which is going to be named something else, I'm sure, will be because Rohrabacher's out. But that's back in there, which will protect medical, I believe. And also, of course, screwed DC again. with regards to them legalizing sales. But looks like the states are going to be protected. Then Congressman Cohen, supporter of marijuana, he and me dropped a couple of things in there, one of which being one for the Compassionate Access Research Expansion and Respect States Act, known as the CARERS Act, I guess.
Yeah, they like to make cute little words.
Yeah, so that's in there, which would allow patients access to medical marijuana in states where marijuana is legal without fear of prosecution. So that's an actual bill that would do that. And then a GOP congressman dropped one.
They do that a lot. Cannabis is not a Democrat or Republican issue. This unites us.
This would reschedule marijuana to Schedule 2. This is Representative Morgan Griffin, Republican of Virginia.
Not stopping till it's tomatoes. Sorry, I didn't interrupt.
And, quote, prohibit or otherwise restrict state legal use, possession, transportation, production, and distribution of medical cannabis. So all of these medical cannabis oriented, we knew research, 96%. How can you go wrong with 96% approval rate in the United States as far as an issue goes? So out of the gate, cannabis in Washington coming out strong. We'll see where it goes. We'll see if it gets protected. Other great news around the country. We have more decriminalization efforts. Jay Inslee is offering pardons finally in Washington. So that's good news. Of course, we did hear that, California collectives, January 9th, they got to find another option. So that we'll keep an eye on that. What's going on here with these people trying to get medicines to people like groups like Weed for Warriors, like Sweet Leaf, right? Sweet Leaf Collective, Sweet Leaf Joe, and other organizations that are trying to get medicine in the larger quantities that people need. It's okay, you just go to a store and buy it. Nah, it's not that simple. It's like, just grow it. It's not that simple either. Was it a tweet or an Instagram about Sweet Leaf Joe? 40 pounds in 4 hours? Oh yeah, I don't have it up, but yeah, they broke a record. They gave out 40 pounds in 4 hours. They're giving away. That's what they're doing. Things are ramping up. Over the next 3 days, they're giving away and getting people up to a year's worth of medicine somehow. I don't know how they're doing that, but whatever. Until this nonprofit nonsense gets worked out. Nonsense. The California's nonsense that they are pulling. I think we just need to put pressure on our elected officials to speed that up. Because just like they said, oh yeah, sure, we'll give you another year, they can say, oh no, we want it next week. Right. Why not? They can say anything they want. They pull us around by the nose all the time anyway. Why don't they just do it on our behalf?